and how when I was growing up in Ukraine, I used to eat 97% of the time home-cooked meals by my mom from the best ingredients grown in the Ukrainian countryside, and I used to feel great. I used to feel so, oh my god, there's like a fly. I used to feel energized, confident. I had just such a great feeling for life. I was excited for life, and I never truly associated it just with what I was. Welcome everyone to LifewithLiza podcast. Our mission at LifewithLiza is to share people's stories and the challenges that they have overcome, so those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage, and the hope to be their better selves. And today I wanted to share with you something that falls under the category I wish someone told me. I wish someone told me when I was younger, and one of the theme for the things that I wish someone told me when I was younger would be connected to what we eat and food and how that impacts our lives. Because I think so many times we just don't even think about it, or we don't think about the impact of what we eat on our lives, on our moods, etc. But actually the impact is tremendous. It's huge. And then I also was thinking, it's quite interesting how when I was growing up in Ukraine, I used to eat 97% of the time home-cooked meals by my mom from the best ingredients grown in the Ukrainian countryside, and I used to feel great. I used to feel so, oh my god, there's like a fly. I used to feel energized, confident. I had just such a great feeling for life. I was excited for life, and I never truly associated it just with what I was eating, and I rarely had any mood swings or being in bad mood, etc. So now, only looking back, I realize how that state of being was so largely interconnected with the quality of food that I was getting. Because I was actually sleep deprived. Throughout my whole high school, I slept only for 2 to 3 hours, and sleep is such a big element of health that I'm just shocked that I still was feeling fine given how little sleep I was getting. But back to the things I wish that someone told me earlier. Firstly, food hugely impacts how you feel. So your moods, and if you feel sad or if you feel angry, if you feel happy, if you feel energized, it is largely influenced by food. Because what I noticed personally as a child, I used to have horrendous tantrums, and now I realize that most likely those tantrums where we just lie down on the floor and start crying were driven by sugar. And even now I don't do well with sugar. If I eat sugar, I become way more irritable, way more moody, etc. And now I just have that self-awareness. I realized that, okay, this is the food that has a certain impact on me. And of course, the impact may vary based on the circumstances. For example, if you slept well, you worked out, you had a nice protein-based meal, and then you had something sugary, then it will not have as much of an impact as basically if I just would eat something sugary first thing in the morning and then, on an empty stomach. So, but these things come from self-awareness and by observing yourself and learning how different foods impact you personally. What I want to share with this video, and something that I wish I learned earlier, would be watch out for how the foods that you eat influence you. Because the impact of individual foods would be different for every person. But just have this awareness that food does influence how you feel and how you think. And many times we would think, oh no, this is actually truly the external circumstances that make us feel a certain way, but actually it's not. Actually, it is what we have eaten. And then something else that I also wish I was told earlier is that even if there is a certain diet in terms of the type of diet, like vegan, vegetarian, keto, paleo, etc., that works for one person and they're healthy with it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it would also be good for you. And if something is even trendy, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is good. Do your own research, and I would always rely in such matters on your own self-awareness and how you feel after you eat something. And watching it also, maybe journaling if you're not sure and it's hard to keep track of how you feel, but just there's so much information out there, and I know that it could be so overwhelming to know what is the best diet, what foods you should be eating. Then you see all these trendy things and you try them out, but just know there's not one diet that would have worked for everyone, and that if something is trendy, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is good for you. And also, another thing that I wish that I learned earlier, it is that it's not only important to drink a lot of water, it's important to drink high quality water, because the reason why we need to drink water is because it has lots of minerals that we need to get, but lots of water these days is actually deprived of these minerals, and it has lots of toxic high metals, toxic ingredients in the water that actually will make you feel worse. So you need to drink a lot of water, but just like high quality water. And for example, now I always filter my water, and I can really taste if the water is not filtered. And then also, I think one of the biggest differences, but also that comes from me growing up in Ukraine and having this beautiful opportunity to taste truly organic food, vegetables grown in the countryside, and I know how they need to taste. So then I remember when I arrived in Amsterdam, and I just bought some vegetables from the supermarket, and I remember trying them, and they almost felt like plastic. They felt like they have no smell and they have no taste. So whenever I can, I try to buy organic ones, because at least those ones, they have taste and they have the needed nutrients that you would want to get from those fruits and vegetables. So also I try to get organic or locally grown foods and vegetables as much as possible. But I hope this video gives you a bit more information that I didn't have when I was young, and I wish I had it. And I hope now, as you are empowered with information, you'll be able to make better choices and also to lead a happier and healthier life. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, and I see you in the next episode.